सबसे आसान सब्जेक्ट है सबसे आसान बेटा कैसे स्कोर कर सकते हैं लैंग्वेजेस आपका नाम क्या है टीचर आपका मैं पूछने जा रही थी आपको फिजिक्स अच्छा लगता है ना समझे कि आपका क्या हो रहा है नहीं एक्चुअली इक्वेशन स्ट्रक्चर समझ नहीं आ रहा लाइक डिस्टेंस एंड डिस्प्लेसमेंट वो समझ में आ गया ना उसके बाद क्या समझ में ये एसएसटी का आपने चारों सब टॉपिक्स के लिए अलग-अलग नोट्स करना है कि एक ही एसएसटी के करेंगे मैं फिर आज तो मैं दो चीजें लेंगे नोट्स तो बस दो है अब पता नहीं पता आपका मदर टंग क्या है महाराष्ट्र आपको क्या लगता है आपको क्या लगा है फर्स्ट बहुत सारे फ्रॉम यूपी आप पंजाब में मैं नहीं आपका शॉर्ट पढ़ती हूँ आज चल रहा है हाँ कल भी आपने शॉर्ट पढ़ते थे ओ हाँ वो मुझे अच्छा लगता है हाँ अच्छे थे oh my god thank you so much इसमें हिस्ट्री और ज्योग्राफी मिक्स है हाँ नहीं एक बुक में सिविक्स और इकोनॉमिक्स है दूसरे में हिस्ट्री और ज्योग्राफी पीएस क्या है पीएस इक्वल्स इक्वल्स डीएम क्या है आपको लास्ट ईयर कितने परसेंट मिले थे लास्ट आप 81 कर रहे हो 90 आपको 90 में कर रहे थे हाँ तो आपने ट्यूशन क्यों कर रहे थे आपने तो ना एक्चुअली वो हुआ ही है कि मेरा और बढ़ सकता था मैथ्स और साइंस में कम हो गया इसकी वजह से मैं जो एंड 9 सिलेबस नाइस आपको 91 मिले शॉकिंग बहुत अच्छे लगे कह सकते हैं बट नंबर 7 6 और 7 मस्त था फिर एक में मेरा भी काम था गुड 9 CBSE class right yes French Revolution will start yes How many of us are there last month? 4 of us. Who is Trisha? Kashyap. I see you. Which school people are from? No, I'm from BGB. And I'm from BGB. I've never been to those schools. I don't know if that. Anyways,
Now I will see if people frequently. Every week we will be meeting. So let's start with our first topic, French Revolution. Anyone, if you people have any language issue, I usually teach more of Hindi and less of English. In case if people have any language issues, please let me know. I'm comfortable in three languages, Hindi, English, Marathi. I can teach you in complete English as well, but please let me know for that. Okay? It's okay with you? Yeah. Sometimes what happens, when I start teaching, I get with the flow and I end up speaking more of Hindi. That's the reason I thought I'll keep people informed. If you feel it's too much of Hindi, then you stop me and tell me, ma'am, thoda English mein bhi padha. Okay? I am comfortable with both the languages. I teach whichever language. Now, let's start with our topic. French Revolution. In your textbook, they have given a kind of ice breaking scenario. First of all, you people tell me, have you seen that Three Idiots movie? Yes. What was the starting of that movie?
There are three stories. One was Rancho and told his real, I don't know the names. Then basically they joined the college in
Was this the starting? एकदम starting में movie का क्या दिखाया था? That's what I'm asking.
this reunion of the three. One was living and playing out his old friends, and suddenly realizes no, he'll be coming right now. Today's the day he was supposed to meet.
He did emergency landing. There was an heart attack, right? All these scenes, right? So certainly this was not the start of the story. It was something from the middle that they had taken and put it in the starting of the story of that movie Three Idiots in order to increase the curiosity of the viewers, right? Same thing these people have done in my in this chapter also. Here what we are discussing right now is not the starting of your story of French Revolution. It is something that is going to happen on later on. But now we are going to first study about it so as to get the curiosity of why these people didn't like this or what was the reason why the French people were agitated. All that we will get to know later. But in the start, they have told about a major event. What is the major event that they are discussing? It is the storming of the Bastille or the breakdown of the Bastille prison. So first, let's see what was the situation. People in France were very much angry with their king Louis XVI. What was the cause of their anger? There were some rumors that the king, French king Louis XVI, has sent some army to kill the civilians. और कुछ फैलेना फैले rumor सबसे ज़्यादा फैलता है. There was no proof that the king is really sending some army people to kill the civilians. But these were all rumors, and people were very happy to see the rumors. They were already agitated with the king. Now with this particular rumor that has been spread that he's going to come and he's going to kill the civilians, look, all these are agitated. They all gathered together around 7,000 something, 7,000 men and women. They all gathered together in the town hall. Now, what is a town hall? In Paris, this is a special place where the people used to do assemblies. In France, this is a special place called town hall. Assembly in the sense, if someone's speaker is coming or if a dignitary is coming, so many people will come and join to hear what this man has to say, right? And that's the reason so many people were going to gather and if they are going to meet somewhere, they would choose an area like town hall. अब अपने मुंबई में क्या है? We had you heard about that Azad Maidan and all that area, Agast Kranti Maidan, Azad Maidan, नहीं सुना? South Bombay में है. अगर नवी मुंबई की बात करो तो DY Patil Stadium, such a big area, full crowd was accumulated when that Coldplay का band had come here, right? So these kind of open places where many people come and they are able to accommodate such kind of a place in Paris here is called as town hall. And how many people have come? 7,000 people, men and women all have come. क्यों आया? गुस्सा आया. किस पर गुस्सा आया? They are the king. and here they have come in order to decide that what the people have to do next, how are they going to survive the attack from the king. When you say the word king, what is the main role of the king? King's role is to protect his people, to protect his subjects. But instead of protecting his own people, he is going to kill them. Then naturally the people are getting agitated and now they are disturbed कि अब क्या करें? जिससे हमें सुरक्षा की उम्मीद थी, जिससे हमें प्रोटेक्शन की उम्मीद थी, वे नहीं वहीं जाने देने पे दिला है. This kind of scenario दिया है. So now they have decided कि कुछ तो करके हमारे पास भी arms and ammunitions आने चाहिए. खर्ची के दम से तो लड़ नहीं सकते. राजा है तो राजा अपना सिपाही भेजेगा. तो अपने आप के डिफेंस के लिए what will they need? They will need arms and ammunition. From where they are going to get this arms? There is some noise on the upstairs. As soon as I said arms and ammunition, it started the panic. As though he was signaling, come upstairs, I have got of arms and ammunition. Well, coming back to the topic. So these people were not worried about arms and ammunition, cars and everything. So in that area where these people are, planning all these things, and these are not one and two. How many of them are there? 7,000. तो जहाँ पे ये लोग ये सब प्लान कर रहे हैं, वहीं पे एक प्रिजन है. क्या है? प्रिजन. एक तहखाना, एक कैद खाना. वहाँ पर ज्यादा कुछ कैदी नहीं है. कितने कैदी हैं? There are only 7 prisoners in that prison. This prison is called prison of Bastille. ठीक है? क्या है इस prison का नाम? Prison of Bastille. And it is a fortress prison. Fortress prison यानी ये fort के अंदर, किले के अंदर एक prison बनाया गया है. You could be wondering, such big French empire is having only 7 prisoners in their prison. Seems to be weird, right? The prison was not made in order to keep the prisoners, but it was rather a symbol of the autocratic rule of the king. It was rather the symbol of how cruel the king is, how dominant the king is, how he can exert his power over the people. को दिखाने के लिए उसने वो prison बनाया रखा था. Otherwise वो prison का उसको कोई नीड नहीं था. For example, in India also we have Red Fort. Red Fort पे हमारे पीएम मोदी जाते हैं 15 अगस्त और 26 जनवरी को स्पीच देते हैं. याद है रूल पे जाके स्पीच देते. वो जहाँ बैठे रहते हैं पार्लियामेंट में वहाँ से भी तो स्पीच दे सकते हैं ना. लेकिन वो फिर भी रेड फोर्ट क्यों जाते हैं? Because for many years Red Fort has been the headquarters of the Mughal Empire. It was also an area. Delhi is also an area which has been considered to be capital for so many years, right? So for PM Modi it's no big deal. वो तो ऑनलाइन भी किसी के साथ भी स्पीच वगैरह दे सकते हैं. बट फिर भी वो कहाँ आते हैं? रेड फोर्ट पे ही आते हैं. Because Red Fort हमारे इंडिया के लिए कैसा है? It is a symbolical monument. It is a historical monument which symbolizes the sovereignty of India, right? And that's the reason PM Modi goes there. तो ऐसा ही ये Bastille का किला क्यों important था? क्या ये prison बनाए रखने के लिए important था? नहीं. इसका significance क्या था? राजा का autocratic rule दिखाने का इसका significance. ये राजा कितना दुष्ट है, ये दिखाना. समझ में? अभी तक पक्का समझो तो.
Who was devastated? Was the king or
some of the ancestors of the king had ruled the Bastille.
So why were they angry with the king?
That we will see later. That's what I said in the start. That these people are now just creating curiosity in your mind. When you were seeing Three Idiots movie, तभी भी तुमको लगा होगा ना यार ये लोग सब कुछ प्लेन सब छोड़ के पता नहीं कौन है वो सूट पहनो उसके पीछे क्यों भागे. लगा था कि नहीं लगा था? तो यही क्वेश्चन ये लोग अपने माइंड में लाना चाहते थे. Why the people were angry with the king? So that when you read the next part of the chapter, you will understand कि king ने क्या भूल लाया है, किसी वजह से लोग भी उस पे आ गए. अब देखो ये लोग इकट्ठा होके 7,000 थे चर्चा करने के लिए that we are going to go and break down the prison of Bastille. And if in case it is a prison, certainly it will have arms and ammunition in order to defend. It is a fortress. Obviously, it will have arms and ammunition to defend. It will also have a commander. हर किले का अपना एक कमांडर होता है. जैसा यहाँ पे भी था. तो ये लोग गए और इन लोगों ने क्या किया? किले को तोड़ा. डिस्कशन 7,000 लोगों ने की, किला तोड़ने के लिए 7,000 लोग गए थे क्या? नहीं, only a few hundreds, maybe 200, 300, 500, 800, we don't know. They have just told a few hundreds went and they broke the Bastille prison. People were so angry that they broke the Bastille prison, and when an educated mob comes, mob of people comes to break down something, it is very difficult to stop them. It is very difficult. No matter how much arms and ammunition the king has or whatever he has, it becomes extremely difficult to stop the mob. ये लोग इतने ज्यादा भड़के हुए थे कि ये लोग गए, इन लोगों ने किले को तोड़ा, किले में जो कमांडर था उसको खत्म कर दिया, उसको मार डाल दिया, उस किले में जो 7 कैदी थे उनको they released them, वो भाग गए, okay? And what these people did? These people took all the arms and ammunition that were kept in the fort of Bastille and they came back home. At least with a sense of assurance कि अब राजा का आदमी हम लोग को मार नहीं पाएगा तो हमारे पास भी क्या है arms and ammunition से हम भी उनका सामना करेंगे. Followed up till here. As you were saying that why these people were so angry with the king, why what he had done that they had become so angry with him. Those things we will see in the next part of the chapter. अच्छा एक और चीज यहाँ पे important है. Whenever you go to some very important historical place or let's say a tourist place, we usually don't come empty-handed. We do some shopping there. कुछ तो करेंगे, फालतू का करके आएंगे shopping, right? Because we need a souvenir from that region. हाँ मैं गई थी हाँ ताजमहल तभी मैं ये लेके आई थी दिखाने के लिए चाहिए रहता है. So we do that, right? So these are souvenirs, these are memories that we bring and we preserve at our home. तो यहाँ पे जब इन लोगों ने बास्टाइल के किले को तोड़ा ना, तो आजू बाजू में जितने लोग रहते थे, residential people and all that, they all came and they all robbed the broken fragments of this fort. अब आप सोचोगे इस किले के टुकड़े को चुरा के लेके जाने का क्या मतलब है? Souvenir, yeah. Because they wanted to keep it as a memento. It was a sign of a despotic rule of a king. Despotic मतलब दुष्ट, पागल सा राजा जो अपनी चलाता है, right? तो ऐसे रूलर का एक किला तोड़ा है, मतलब उनको इतनी खुशी हो रही थी ना, ऐसा फील हो रहा था कि राजा को ही तोड़ दिया. But सच्ची मुच्ची में राजा को नहीं तोड़ सकते ये लोग, because राजा is राजा, he is very powerful. He has a big army with him. तो कम से कम उसका किला तोड़ के तो खुशी मना रहे हैं. हम लोगों ने उसको छोड़ा नहीं, उसका किला तोड़ा. Okay? So they are bringing those fragments and they are keeping it with them to show that see, some of them तो sold it in the market also. इसमें भी जुगाड़ करके पैसा कमाया. इसलिए इसको मार्केट में बेच के इसके भी थोड़े से पैसे मिल जाएंगे. Now we are going to start with ultimately what the events were, how the events were taking up that these people got so angry and they are now behind the king. Ultimately, what happens is these 16 जो राजा हैं इसको एक खत्म ही कर देंगे, वो मार देंगे लोग at that. So let's see why things are taking like these turns. So first we are going to discuss about the French society in the late 18th century. What are the circumstances? How was the society or how the king was? All these things we are going to discuss now. In 1774, Louis XVI, see dates का ज़्यादा pressure मत लो, पहले कहानी समझो. उसके बाद मैं तुम लोग को डेट लिस्ट दे दूंगी, उतने ही डेट्स याद करने हैं, उतने डेट्स याद होगा तो बस तुम्हारा डीपीएस होने दो, तुम्हारा एपीजी होने दो, नॉट फंड होने दो, कोई भी स्कूल होने दो, सब लोग मार्क्स दे देंगे उतना डेट्स देंगे, ठीक है, उसका टेंशन नहीं है. And yes, in my class, usually you are supposed to bring NCERT textbook. आज तो मैं खुद ही भूल गई, तुम लोग को इतना मशवरा दे रही हूँ NCERT लाने के लिए. Today I myself forgot and I am using the UP volume. I rarely teach from UP volume. I don't want your textbook. No, it's okay. I teach from this book. मेरा textbook है ना, अजब textbook है. उसमें पूरा भर गया है हिंदी से. I've written so many short points and all those things. So I usually get my own textbook to teach, and I also recommend my students to bring textbooks and bring one this thing sticky notes का bunch रहता है ना, वो लेके आना. और क्या लेके आओगे तुम लोग? की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती है. मैं कुछ नहीं. There already a 3 UP volume है. All the question answers are there in this. और भी कुछ बैठ के लिखना है तेरे को. Why is there a good extra? चिकी नोट लेके आना, टेक्स्ट बुक लेके आना और हाइलाइटर लेके आना. जो भी important dates होंगे that we will highlight. And I never give any homework. But still you will get good marks provided terms and conditions apply. If you are doing the Abhyas series, you must be aware that in UP we have Abhyas का series. हफ्ते में कोई तो दिन आते हैं ना questions, तुम लोग को वो सब उसके आंसर्स लिख के ऑनलाइन अपलोड करने होते हैं. नहीं करते हैं. No, not that. Weekly test तो नहीं. हाँ, एक वो weekly test अलग है, वो तो होता ही है. But besides that, for homework series, you guys have Abhyas. Abhyas is not for all the subjects. It is for math, science, and SST, something like that. So just check it out with Rekha ma'am. Today she is not there. I think she's having a meeting or something. But once she comes, you just check it out with her. She will tell you in detail what it is. You will get questions online. You are supposed to write the answers without looking. अपने आप के साथ आप लोग ईमानदार हो. अपने answers लिखो. और जैसा आता है वैसा लिखो. Click the photographs and upload it online on the Utica website. Okay? Utica app भी रहेगा ना कुछ तुम लोग के पास. उस पर upload करना है. Then we have a faculty, Jolly ma'am करके हैं. She will correct those questions and answers. With that you will also get understanding where you guys are making mistakes. है ना? आपका एक बार दो बार क्वेश्चन फ्रेमिंग में या फिर आंसर फ्रेमिंग में या फिर कीवर्ड्स में गलतियां हो सकती है. But later you will get the knack of it, that how NCERT expects or how CBSE expects you to write the answers, right? And then finally, gradually, if you keep on regularly doing it, you will never make any mistake. कोई भी क्वेश्चन आने दो, सही लिख के आओगे. Clear? तो अभ्यास का जो होमवर्क सीरीज है वो पक्का करना है. बाकी अलग से मैं कोई होमवर्क नहीं. इसलिए हिस्ट्री का पढ़ने के लिए और भी बहुत कुछ है तुम लोगों को. Unnecessary लोड नहीं है. But yes, if you people want, अब तुम लोग बहुत ही ज़्यादा पढ़ाते हो तो फिर बोल दो मेरे को दे दूँगी कुछ ना कुछ होगा. चलिए नहीं. Yes. अब लुईस 16 जो था इसने 1774 में राजगद्दी संभाली. मतलब he ascended the throne of France. बेचारा छोटा था. 20 साल का ही तो था. 20 साल की उम्र में क्या ही अक्ल होती है. मेरी मम्मी को तो मेरे को लगता है कि मेरे पास अभी भी अक्ल नहीं है. हाँ, वो अलग बात है कि इंडियन पेरेंट्स कभी भी अपने बच्चों को बड़ा समझते नहीं है. बट ये फ्रांस का आदमी था तो ये बैठ गया राजगद्दी पर. 20 साल का छोटा सा लड़का. देखो ये 20 साल का या छोटा ये मैटर नहीं करता. दिक्कत ये हुई कि इसने शादी किससे करी. He married to the Austrian princess Mary Antoinette. आप सोच रहे हो मैरी तो है लड़की तो है क्या हो गया इतना इसने शादी करी तो करी. देखो प्रॉब्लम ये है कि फ्रांस और ऑस्ट्रिया एज अ कंट्री दोनों फ्रेंडली नहीं थे. तो ये राजा का ससुराल मतलब दुश्मन का राज्य हो गया. लेकिन ऐसा सोचो ना ससुराल बहू जिस घर से आई है वो दुश्मन के घर से बनी हुई बहू है. मतलब फ्रांस के लोगों को कैसा लग रहा. जिसको बहू मानेंगे जिसको क्वीन मानेंगे वो दुश्मन राज्य से. तुम लोग को क्या लगता है तुम्हारे इंडिया में ऐसी कोई दुश्मन राज्य की पाकिस्तान की बहू आई होगी. तुम लोग कैसे रिएक्ट करते. तुम लोग कोई आर्मी के लिए हमारे राजा को फ्रांस में से ही किसी को पकड़ के शादी कर लेता है. ये क्या हाथ में लेके आया. ऐसा ही लगता ना. तो ऐसा ही यहाँ के लोगों को भी लग रहा था क्या आया थे किससे शादी करके लेके आया. ऑस्ट्रियन प्रिंसेस मैरी एंटोनिएट. चलेगा फिर भी पीपल नो कॉम्प्रोमाइज की रहने दो यार. वो भी छोटा ये भी छोटी है रह लेंगे जैसे तैसे. But there was another problem now. When this fellow became the king, his treasury was almost empty. Now, why his treasury was empty? Because there were long years of war. See, whenever you talk about an empire, it is very difficult to maintain an empire. राजा बनना बहुत आसान है, लेकिन राजा बने रहना बहुत मुश्किल है. समझ रहे हो? क्योंकि when you are a king or when you are having an authority, there is always a threat from the outside or the external agencies. There are always certain other kings who are trying to invade your territory. They are trying to come and capture your land. So ऐसे किस्से उस टाइम पे तो बहुत नॉर्मल होते थे कि आज किसी ने आके इस पे हमला कर दिया, कल किसी ने आकर किसी और पे हमला कर दिया. तो ये छोटे मोटे या बड़े बड़े हमले होते रहते. और इन हमलों में क्या होगा वॉर का सिचुएशन हो जाएगा. एंड वॉर में कभी भी कोई कंट्री के पास प्रॉस्पेरिटी तो नहीं आती. correct? So always it is a monetarily taxing kind of situation for the people. I'm talking about Louis 16. Things were such hayward anyways. So इनके treasury का क्या हाल था? It was completely dried up. So there are various reasons, not just war was one of the reasons. There were other reasons also why his treasury was not having any money. The cost of maintaining an extravagant court at Versailles. देखा होगा तुम लोग को उसका घर कितना अच्छा है. उसका घर देखने के बाद तुम लोग को तुम्हारे घर में जाने का मन नहीं करेगा. You will start feeling कि राजा ऐसे घर में रहता था, हमारा घर ऐसा क्यों नहीं. Palace of Versailles. रहना है बच्चों ऐसे घर में. See how beautiful it is.
Still there?
Yes, this is the present picture. कोई पुराना नहीं दिखा रही है.
Monument बन गया
It's a monument. It's a tourist attraction. See, there are so many glass का झूमर्स. मेरे को ऐसा घर में रहना, मैं कभी बाहर नहीं निकलूंगी. सच, मैं हमेशा ऐसे घर में रहूंगी. आ जाओ ना, बिल्कुल आ जाओ, बिल्कुल आ जाओ. All my students are always invited. और इतना बड़ा घर होगा तो फिर क्या, मेरी जिंदगी भर के सारे स्टूडेंट्स एकोमोडेट हो जाएंगे यहाँ पर. देखो, तो पुराना इमेज है. This was the scene in 1675. This was how it was beautiful. कितना अच्छा है ना इसका घर. ये अभी देखो, अभी अंदर ऐसा इन लोगों ने कुर्सी रखा है, टेबल रखा है. सी लुक एट द कार्विंग्स ऑन द टेबल. एंजल्स को बनाया है एक जगह पर, राइट, फॉर द लेग. सो इंट्रिकेटली कार्व्ड. एंड दिस इज द फायरप्लेस. ठंडी नहीं लगनी चाहिए ना, फ्रांस में ठंडी बहुत पड़ती है. हाउ ब्यूटीफुल. खेलने की भी जगह है इसके पास तो. So this fellow has everything in his महल. और भी कुछ इमेजेस देखो. ये तो फिर भी अंदर की इमेजेस थे, बाहर की इमेजेस तो और भी अच्छे. See, this is the kind of courtyard this महल has. एक कॉरिडोर ही इतना बड़ा है इसका. मुझे तो यहाँ से वहां तक जाने के लिए भी ऑटो मंगाना पड़ेगा. See, so beautiful fountains and all are also there. So obviously fountain तो बना के रखा, उसमें से पानी नहीं निकल रहा है तो क्या ऐसा चलेगा क्या? पानी भरना पड़ेगा, पानी निकालना पड़ेगा उसमें से. फाउंटेन को वर्केबल रखना पड़ेगा. मतलब इसके ऊपर क्या हो रहा है, उसका मेंटेनेंस का खर्च. Am I coming across? तो ये इतना बड़ा एक्स्ट्रावेगेंट महल बनाना आसान है बेटा, लेकिन उसको मेंटेन करना क्या होता है, बहुत मुश्किल. ये एक छोटे ग्लास के जो झूमर लगे हैं यहाँ पर, उसमें अगर धूल जम गया तो तुमको लगता है वो अच्छा दिखेगा. तो उसको साफ करवाना, उसको मेंटेन करवाना, ये भी एक बहुत बड़ा खर्चा राजा जी कर रहे थे. और ये खर्चे कर करके उसकी तिजोरी क्या हुई थी, खत्म. तो अभी तक हमने कितने रीजन देखे? अभी तक हमने 2 रीजन देखे. एक रीजन ये था कि वॉर की वजह से he had to face a long because of long years of war he had to face financial drain. Second thing that we saw is there was too much of maintenance cost for this extravagant palace of Versailles. Correct? These are the 2 reasons that we have seen. Third reason देखो क्या था. Louis 16 को जब खुद का चीज सब कुछ नहीं संभल रहा है, तब उसको दूसरों की भलाई करने का शौक चढ़ा. Just to show. Yeah. अब देखो, मान लो फ्रांस के पास खुद के पास ही पैसे कम है, तब वो जाके अमेरिका की हेल्प करे. क्यों? अमेरिका तो यही मांगेगा सबसे हेल्प. तुम्हारा अपना चलता तुम देख के पैर पसारो ना, है कि नहीं? अमेरिका तो सबसे हेल्प मांग रहा है, तुम्हें क्या इतनी दया आ रही है उसके ऊपर जो तुम जाके हेल्प करो, और करो तो करो, एक लिमिट में करो। अमेरिका को क्यों हेल्प मांगने की जरूरत पड़ी, ये भी क्वेश्चन यहाँ पे आता है। You people must be aware that British people have made almost every country their colony once upon a time, right? And they had so much of area under them. So America was also once upon a time divided into 13 British colonies. And America was fighting for their independence. While they were fighting for their independence, they needed monetary help. तो अमेरिका ने मांगा, सिर्फ फ्रांस के राजा से मांगा था क्या? सभी राजाओं से मांगा था, उस टाइम के बड़े-बड़े राजाओं से मांगा था that we want to get some independence from British people, we are facing some wars, so people please help me. बाकियों ने किया नहीं किया, इसने तो भर भर के किया। अब इतना मदद किया कि खुद का ही खजाना क्या हो गया, खाली हो गया। So this is the third reason. Now fourth reason क्या है? सबको पैसा देके उसका खुद का पैसा खर्च हो रहा है, तो now he has started taking loan. तो अब उसके पास कितने का लोन आ गया था? 1 billion livres. 1 billion livres. Now livres is the French currency of that time. ठीक है? अब ये लोन कोई ले, कहीं से तो आप ले रहे हो, certainly that person, the money lender, will not give you the loan free of cost. He will charge interest over it. तो पहले जो इंटरेस्ट को दे रहा था, जिस इंटरेस्ट पे वो ले रहा था वो लोन को, वो इंटरेस्ट पे बढ़कर अब 10% हो गया। समझ रहे हो सिचुएशन? Yes, and when he is not having money, when he is falling short of money, what he will end up doing? He will end up taxing the common man because he wants more money in his tijori now. Tijori खाली हो गई है, so he wants to pay his treasury, so he will start taxing the people. 1 billion livres का लोन लिया था, बढ़ के वो कितना हो गया है? 2 billion livres का हो गया है, मतलब डबल हो गया है। ठीक है? So ultimately, with all these reasons, let's count down once again how many reasons we studied. Long years of war that this France had to face. Second is cost of maintenance of such a lavish palace. Third reason is because of helping America, it further went on to reduce its own resources, financial resources. It helped American colonies to gain independence from Britain, but ultimately उसका खुद का इसने क्या करके रखा? नुकसान करके रखा। He had taken debt of 1 billion livres, but which has now risen and become how much? 2 billion livres. The money lenders have now increased the interest rate on the loan that they have given, and how much they have increased it? 10%. तो हर तरफ से राजा का क्या हो रहा है? सैंडविच पूरी तरह से। और अपना सिचुएशन ईज करने के लिए now he is going to increase the tax. One more point you can also note, sixth point is whenever we talk about the king, whenever we talk about the government, the king, whatever government he runs, he also uses his own personal treasury or the government treasury for running the government affairs. For example, it could be government college, government universities, government hospitals, right? Government charity funds. All those things are also money is taken from where? From the king's treasury. So again, this was also taxing the king, and he was अभी वो बहुत ही poor हो रहा था। इसकी कहानी सुनकर लगता है यार अपन बेटर है। Louis XVI is worse than us. कि पूरी तरह से हर तरीके से क्या हो गया? बस गया है, उसके पास अभी पैसा बिल्कुल भी नहीं। समझा यहाँ तक? किसी को कुछ डाउट है? आगे बढ़ो। Now, we are talking about something called as old regime. Old regime क्या होता है? See, from the time when Bastille Fort का storming हुआ, when the people they broke the Bastille Fort, from there till the next all the years we call it as the new regime. But Bastille Fort के तोड़ने से पहले जो time period था, we call it as the old regime. समझा? The day when was the Bastille Fort was broken? It was broken on 14th July 1789. देखो ऐसा आसानी से याद रखेगा, 14 जुलाई याद रखेगा, उसके लिए कोई ट्रिक नहीं है। बट 1789 को कैसे याद रखेंगे? पहले 1 लिखो फिर 789, 789, 1789। ओके, सो 14 जुलाई 1789 के बाद का all the things that are happening in France they come under the new regime. बट उससे पहले का जो भी हुआ था, before the storming of the Bastille, Everything comes under which kind of regime? Old regime. Old regime. पहले का old regime, बाद में का new regime.
Now, even the breaking of the Western comes under old regime, right?
Yes. Yes. Now, French society in the 18th century was divided into three states. So the first tea state was called as the first estate was called as clergy. Second estate was called as the nobles, and the third estate was like bichara people, all bichara people together. Peasants, artisans, farmers, workers, businessmen, lawyers, they are also bichara. Bigger peasants also, big businessmen also. Merchants also, court lawyers, court officials, everyone is bichara. Only one person is happy, that is king. The rest all are bicharas. But better the situation for rest of them is the nobles and the clergy. Because nobles and clergy are not expected to pay taxes. Who is expected to pay taxes? Only the third estates. That is the power. When you talk about the lawyers or the big businessmen and all the rest of the people, they are educated, they understand the situation, they get to know what kind of politics the king is playing. But are they in a position to change the things, change the scenario in France? No. That's the reason I'm calling them bichara. उनको समझ तो रहा है कि क्या हो रहा है फ्रांस में, गलत हो रहा है, लेकिन वो कुछ बदल पा रहे हैं क्या? तो फिर उनका समझने का फायदा भी क्या है? Now, so the system that was present in those regions were this kind of three stage group. First is clergy, second is nobility, and the third comes the third estate. Now, all these things, the clergy, who would be the clergy or who would be the nobility, this was all dependent upon the birth. तो कोई अगर इंसान नोबल के फैमिली में पैदा हो गया तो he comes under the group of nobility. If someone is born under the family of a person belonging to third estate, then that person will be forever tagged as third estate person. If a person is born to a family or a person who is belonging to clergy category, then that person will be given the status of clergy. फिर वो उतना लायक का वो इंसान हो या नहीं हो, उसकी उतनी औकात है कि नहीं है, वो भी नहीं देखा जाएगा, लेकिन उसको privileges मिल जाएंगे. Because all these privileges were dependent just on the birth.
हम whatever अगर एक court officials का बहुत बड़ा होके पढ़ लिख के clergy में तो भी वो कैसे तो
वो change भी ना कर सकते बेटा. These are watertight compartments. मतलब जो clergy में वही clergy करेगा. Clergy वाला nobility में नहीं आ सकता है. Nobility वाला third state में नहीं आ सकता.
Basically they classified into like अगर clergy है उसके पास जो like उसके घर में जन्म लेगा नहीं by birth उनके पास privileges है. And
nobility also has privileges by birth. By birth.
What is privileges?
Yes.
Feudal.
Feudal. I'll come to the feudal system. So these people were given all the privileges just on the basis of birth, and simply third estate people didn't have anything and no privileges. If they are born in the third estate, things go on. They are supposed to suffer. They are supposed to bear all the negative things that are present in the French society. Okay, now let's see what all things were happening with them. After the long school day, I don't feel like standing and teaching, but there are some things I really need to draw on the board to make it like this.
Are you teachers?
Yeah.
Which
What will you do? I knowing which school I am. I'm not going to come there. And it's a CBSE, it's not a CBSE school, it's an ICSE. It's in Sandhara, it's in Vashi. There are so many teachers in UP who teach in school also and then they come and teach in school also. I didn't know. UP teachers are very hard working. See, now if you look at this triangular diagram, certainly I have made 3 states over there, and I have written that the clergies and the nobles together, their population was how much? Only 10% in France. And the rest of the 90% population belong to which state? Third estate. But if you look at the land distribution, मतलब किसके नाम पे कितनी जमीन है, कितना property है, if you see that 60% of the land of France belongs to only this 10% of the population, that is the nobles and the clergies. And rest 40%, only 40% of the land is distributed on the 90% of the population. मतलब peasants के पास, third estates के लोगों के पास obviously land कैसा है? कम है, बहुत कम as compared to the land owned by the nobles and the clergies. Is this clear? Okay. Now, moreover, not only this, they had the right to purchase land. The nobles and the clergies had the right to purchase land. They had the right to sell the land. Now, let's say, for example, Prisha is a clergy woman, okay, and she has a lot of land with her. I am third estate ka garib kisan ka bhi, okay. I want to purchase land from Prisha. Prisha is giving me a discounted rate. Okay, she wants to sell that land and probably she wants to go to some foreign land and settle there forever. She is not interested in staying in France. So she is hurriedly selling the land to me, and I am ready to purchase because I am getting it at a discounted rate. I made the payment to her. She gave me the paperwork. She signed everywhere that yes, this kind of transaction has taken place, and I have sold my land to Bhagyashree. You know my name is Bhagyashree. Now you very simple. So Prisha sold land to Bhagyashree teacher. She wrote that on the agreement paper and she gave it to me. But I should not be happy because this land does not still belong to me. Do you know why? Because I am a person from third estate. And I do not have any right to make any new land transactions. Anytime Prisha can come back and she can say, "Chal, de land tera. मेरे को चाहिए." Gone. Got it? So even if investment. Yes. And even if I am taking, that land from you forever, I have paid you full amount for it. Still, you can come and reclaim that land from me. So, is there any sense in me purchasing any new land? But this was the scenario in France where the people of France, especially the third estate, did not have any right over the property. तो इनका ये जो 40% का भी अगर land है ना, तो भी वो उनका ही ऐसा कोई गारंटी नहीं है. कभी भी आकर ये nobles और clergies को क्या करेंगे अपना claim जमा लेंगे and they will not do the settlement of that land. Suppose Prisha is coming and she is taking that land back from me. She should at least return me my amount that I have given to her, right? छोड़ो interest वगैरह तो नहीं छोड़ो, but at least give the principal amount that I had paid her. But is she bound to pay me that? No, because she has privileges by her birth that she is not expected to make any kind of official payment to me. She can just come in and push me out of that land and start staying back in her houses around that land, whatever. But in this kind of situation, do you think the third estate people will be happy? One more thing that was happening. All the kind of taxes, they were applicable only on the third estate people. The first and the second estate people were not expected to pay any tax. अब tax में भी अलग-अलग variety of taxes थे for the third estate people. Let's see one by one which kind of taxes they were supposed to pay. First is the tit. The third estate people are supposed to pay first tax. That is tit. अच्छा मेरे को बताओ. What is your religion?
I'm Maharashtrian.
Hindu?
Yeah.
You are Hindu. I'm also Hindu. अब अपने को हिंदू बने रहने के लिए कोई टैक्स मांगता है? If someone comes and tells me भाग्यश्री मैम, अगर आपको हिंदू बने रहना है तो आपको हर साल में आपने जितना भी कमाया उसका 10% टैक्स में पे करना पड़ेगा। मैं तो इमीडिएट एथेइस्ट हूँ, कोई रिलीजन ही नहीं चाहिए मेरे को। आई हैव नो रिलीजन, व्हाट आई विल से एंड आई विल बैक ऑफ। यस और नो? Because religion is for the support of the people. Religion is not for money making business. But this is what the church, the clergy people did for the common man people in France. They used to charge tit. What is a tit? Tit is paying 1/10 of the annual income to the church. Paying 1/10 of annual income to the church. So suppose you have earned 10 lakh rupees in a year. Let's assume. Wow, 10 lakh. मैं अपना makeup kit पहले खरीद लूँगी, she must have realized it. So let's say you have earned 10 lakh rupees in a year and you are a person belonging to third estate staying in France. How much money you need to pay as tax? Full 1 lakh. And where you are paying it to the church. अरे भाई तेरे को नहीं करने का इतना दान, है ना? पर फिर भी तेरे को जबरदस्ती इतना दान करना पड़ रहा है। सपोज तू बोलेगी कि नहीं चलो मैं नहीं करती, क्या कर लोगे? मेरे पास नहीं है पैसा, जाओ, मेरे को नहीं देने। तो क्या होगा पता है तुम्हारे साथ? You will be outcasted. Nobody will talk to you. Nobody will sell any goods to you. Nobody will hire you. Nobody will purchase anything from you if you are a businessman and you want to sell something. Boycott type. Outcasting the person. उसके साथ कोई बात ही नहीं करेगा। मतलब there is a societal and religious pressure on the person to pay this. Getting me? तो कोई अगर चाहे कोई रिवोल्ट करे, कोई बगावत करे और बोले come on Nana, I'm not going to pay tax. Still they will have to pay. And what justification the clergy is made by taking pay? Such a wrong justification they used to make कि बाइबल में लिखा है कि आपको जो भी आप कमाते हो उसका 1/10 देना पड़ेगा। जीसस क्राइस्ट के हिसाब अकाउंट्स डिपार्टमेंट खोल के बैठे हैं। मिस्टर थॉमस इज अर्निंग 25 lakhs, ये चलो उठा के लेके उसका 2.5 lakhs पे ले मेरे को, फिर मैं अपना चमत्कार दिखाऊं। Is this thing like this? Come on. People of religious attributes never look also at the materialistic things. So, but these things in the used to say ऐसा कुछ लिखा नहीं है बाइबल में। बाइबल में तो इनफैक्ट ये लिखा है कि अगर आप एक पूरे हफ्ते में 10 रोटी खाते हो तो उसमें से एक रोटी आप क्या करो? दान दो। So whatever things they have mentioned in Bible, it is regarding food. It is never regarding money. And food also in the terms of one complete year. So for one complete year, if Prisha consumes 10 kgs of wheat, तो of that 10 kgs of wheat उसको 1 kg wheat क्या देना है? चैरिटी में, दान में देना है। And that is of course affordable. Yes or no? That is what Bible says and ये लोग देखो। आज से कहाँ बात को बोल। Next is tail. पहले टिक हो गया, दूसरा टैक्स है tail. Tail is the direct tax, ना? ये ना? हाँ, direct tax. Now what do you mean by direct tax? Just let me complete this tax wala thing. Tail means direct tax. Now your parents are earning some money at the end of the year, financial year, March, April. They do file income tax returns and all that income tax filing. So they pay some amount of money to the government as the income tax, right? This income tax is known as direct tax. So whatever income tax the government is gaining from these people is again from whom? Only from the third estate, not from the first two estate. Besides, there was some more tax, like which are known as indirect tax. The third one is the indirect tax. Indirect tax includes, suppose Prisha goes to the market to buy salt, salt to per tax. If one of us goes to the market to buy any other regular using commodity, उसपे भी क्या tax? तो हर चीज पे क्या लगेगा? टैक्स। बस हवा फ्री में थी, बाकी सांस भी गिन के वो टैक्स उस पे भी ले लेता, उतना ही उसने छोड़ा। ठीक है, समझा बच्चा? यहाँ तक कुछ डाउट है? तो एंजॉय द क्लास। यस मैम। So meet you again next week. Till then, bye bye. Take care.
Now, husband has really choose हाँ भाई माचो अच्छा लगता है वही तो वो फिजिक्स के सर लिखते हैं सुना प्रोफेसर वाली फीलिंग ना मैंने तुम लोग कॉलेज में जाते हुए सब सीरियस हो जाते हैं वैसे ये आपके लिए बस तो एग्जाम जाना नहीं करते हो पढ़ाने से ले काम से काम पढ़ाने से पढ़ाना ये अभी तक की बेस्ट और ये हिस्ट्री मेरी का मुझे इंटरेस्टिंग लगा अच्छा लग रहा है बहुत लाइक ऐसे वो क्यूरियोसिटी है कि क्या होगा अगर एक पढ़ाना तो स्कूल में तो भी अच्छे मार्क्स आ जाते जब हम तो लेकिन ठीक है स्कूल में नहीं किया नहीं